Good Monday, everybody, after a week of complete abject chaos. And my poor bunny, not feeling well at all.
It's a stupid thing.
It is, but it's quite painful. It is. All right, so moving on. Let's see who we got.
Over here.
And, oh gosh, hello everybody. We've got Sean, we got Savannah, we got Helena, and we got Wendy. Oh, well, another Wendy, different Wendy.
Okay.
Hello, different Wendy. And hello, Helena. No, she's already said hello.
All right.
Hello. So what are we going to talk about today?
I think today we're going to talk about a few things. I think we're going to talk about the coming holiday, which holy day.
That's where it comes from.
Which is Ostara, or in our tradition we use the Welsh name Albin Eiler.
Well, apparently.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but we got a huge good afternoon orange. Thank you for the orange.
Hot dog, don't mind if I do. All right. Well, this is all quite entertaining, isn't it?
We're getting cheers now as well.
All right.
Well, thank you.
So I think we'd like to talk about Albin
Yes.
Eiler,
Yes.
the spring equinox.
Easily distracted me.
Yeah, well, no, I'm going to try to stay on track. And then I'd also like to talk a little bit about some things that I feel have a sense of urgency now.
Urgency. Look at me, all my sleeves are rolled up.
I don't know. All right.
Hardly
So
sartorial elegance.
let's think about what does Albin...
Height, peak, maximum, brightness, all of the sort of thing, which also the root of alba, which is, Albion, all that whiteness. White, bright, heat, peak,
All
maximum.
right. Eiler.
Spring, really. Sort of like the height of spring is sprungus. It's the mid-spring, and it is actually astronomically, it's the middle of spring, isn't it? And it's a time of great balance.
And it has to do with the energy of East, right? East estrogen.
Ostara, Eostra, which is where we get
Hi,
estrogen
Cass.
from. Oh, hello, Cass. Yes. Yes.
So I think that because of the return of the light, we know that now is a time we can plant, and we notice that birds seem to be making some really cool songs and prepping their nests.
Check out my tail feathers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And starting to lay eggs. And I
see.
think that's how eggs got to be part of Easter.
Well, yeah, absolutely so.
Because
we can speak to that.
I mean, what on earth would eggs have to do with the resurrection of Christ? We're not quite sure about that.
Well, he said, thank you, Willow, for following us. It's interesting, but should I continue?
I guess.
What has any of this to do with the resurrection of Christ? But he's risen from the dead, they say, don't they, at Easter? He's risen from the dead of winter. We're talking about there's now more light than darkness. He's come over the cross of the crossbar, and crosses take on a whole different meaning when you start digging into them a little bit.
Moon,
a little bit more. It's not what you think it is. It's a great mythology that helps us remember these things. That they are kind of important. But yeah.
Yeah. So he has risen. He was dead for 3 days and rises again. Kind of like the moon.
Well, like the solstice as
the
well,
solstice
maybe.
stands still
Does it
and
stand
move,
still for 3 days? Then no.
And that particular holiday is still calculated.
It is
by the pagan spring equinox, right? So it's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox.
Yes.
So Easter is quite early this year. It's March 31st.
Yes, it is an early one.
And our psychic fair is the day before,
Well,
March
how about
30th. So hopefully everybody will have off for the weekend and they'll be able to come to the psychic fair.
Come and find your favourite psychic. I mean, me, whatever, who, what. It's snowing where you are? Oh, poor Cass.
Where the heck did you go?
It's cold and snowy western New York. I guess they still got plenty of snow in Buffalo, don't they? I mean, it will warm up eventually. Funny how it's all tied together, isn't it? Funny how it's all tied together. This mythology, don't we love it?
Right. So again, I'm not putting anything down. I'm not saying that you can't believe in in one myth or the other. But I like to remind people just to do their research to try to understand where these stories came from. You know, we have to recognize it isn't my way or the highway, right? No one person's religious beliefs should be forced upon anyone else.
Oh, well, yes. Yes, we could talk for that one until the cows come home, can't we?
Yes, let's kill some more people in the name of our God.
The First Amendment provides for freedom of religion. That's freedom of any religion or no religion whatsoever if you so desire. Just point that out. I am an American. I am a citizen, all right, and I do passionately believe in our Constitution.
Visiting Mark's parents somewhere. I don't know. I can't remember where.
Well, there's a
heart
somebody will
on
have
top.
to. It's just under the heart, and there's nothing I can do about that. But it's out there somewhere. How nice. Yeah. So it bothers me when people try to say ours is the only way and you must, you can have your religious beliefs, absolutely. If you feel, and I'm sorry to get on my political bandwagon for a second here, if you feel that your religion prevents you from having IVF or having an abortion, fine, great, don't do it. But you don't have the right to impose that belief on other people. You do not, okay?
Just we're living in some very interesting times, I must say.
Just so you know, okay? If you're against gay marriage, don't have one.
Right? It's that simple, really.
It really is that simple.
No, I think that what we're kind of seeing. And I know, like I always say, the world was probably no better when Attila the Hun was running around. We just didn't have, social media. But
and that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're living in this kind of push me, pull me energy where there's this need for people to come together and work together and create together. And then there's this undertone of selfishness and righteousness.
It bothers me.
And we can kind of see it boiling and bubbling, right? So we're getting in this place. It's that tick on the clock.
That's that tick on the clock again.
We're in this very kind of tension-filled, volatile space. Right?
Yep, the old guard don't want to let go.
Where people are just acting crazy. So, spring equinox, then we're going to have this eclipse, and then we're going to have on April Fool's Day Mercury retrograde. How hard could it be? And we have this conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus, and there are just so many things that are adding to this tension or bubbling under the surface.
What's this on TikTok? For the gentleman, I presume that's me. I'm a gentleman. I do try to be a gentleman. Was any of your great-great-grandparents were a high priest or monarchy? Well, that's interesting. I am fighting with my family tree. I know some dog jumped a fence somewhere, that's for sure. So I've got many skeletons in my closet which I've been trying to uncover in my dark and distant past. But interestingly enough, I actually am a high priest. I'm a Wiccan high priest. I'm completely out the broom closet. So there you go. Why do I want to buy
what are we
a Threy Gork on eBay? Why? We've just sold one.
Okay.
I think, unless we've just sold one. I don't know.
I don't know. All
it's
right.
possible.
Anyway, so speaking of high priest and high priestess, we're asked a lot of times, like, what can we do? What can we do? Everything just seems completely out.
How do we combat
control.
this hatred and vitriol and this anger boiling under the surface? What can we do? What can we do?
Well, everyone is responsible for their own little patch.
Yep.
Right? For their own little patch. Or to be part of their own community. There may not be much that you can offer to the masses if you don't have access to the masses. But you could try to offer kindness and reason to some of these people who are on the edge, So let's imagine that you're afraid. Let's imagine you're afraid, and you feel like you've really been let down, and you have no money and no job to speak of that's going to get you out of the rut you're in. And along came this person who wasn't your typical politician and fed you all this stuff.
Which isn't actually true.
So you said, hey, I'm going to get on this train because
we need a change.
We need a change, and the other choice is a woman, and that freaks me out too much. So I'm going to just take care, and I'm going to vote for this person.
Mm.
And now you're kind of sucked into that spot.
Mm.
And
are you done?
Things may not have gone the way you expected them to go. And in fact, things probably went down really quickly with the handling of the pandemic. And people's lives were turned on their heads. Turned on their heads.
Oh, yeah.
And so many people now are still kind of carrying those wounds from those losses.
Yes.
And they're not just individual losses. They're bigger and spreading and affecting more and more and more people. For example, I read today that Joann's Fabrics has declared bankruptcy.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right? So huge.
We were just in the store the weekend, weren't we?
Yeah.
We went, and I thought it looked a bit,
Well, so many of these companies have been acid stripped, and
stripped,
there's all kinds of stuff
absolutely.
going on behind the scenes that we know nothing about. But anyway, maybe you've now come to the conclusion that your original choice wasn't so great, but maybe you're still a dyed-in-the-wool Republican. So you've got these people that were duped by this dude who's a con man, obviously. Then you've got people who said, well, I can't vote Democrat, right? And now you've got some people who are saying, well, I'll just vote third party or I won't vote at all. So
there's a little more to it this time.
Well, not since the
Outbreak
90s.
of the Second World War.
Not since the 90s has a third party candidate even come close, and that was Ross Perot. And he had his own money like Bloomberg, So we have to understand that even if we really think one of those third party candidates is the dog's bollocks,
it's a technical term.
They don't have a chance. They're not going to come close. So if you're voting for a third party candidate, you're basically wasting your vote. But I don't think you should just sit home either.
No.
I think there's some
if
big
you value
things,
democracy.
some big things going on,
frankly,
that far surpasses Democrat or Republican. I do honestly believe that there is a person who probably is going to end up pleading insanity.
I'd be convinced. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to disparage many of you. Hello, hey y'all, and thank you. Apparently, there's some ancestor type figure hanging around me, which is kind of cool. I'm loving that.
Oh, that's lovely. I wonder who they are.
I don't know. I don't know, but that's cool. That's cool. Hello, Susan. Hello, Jessica.
Oh, Susan. I didn't get Susan.
Yeah, she just appeared. So, and we can see now where Cass is. She's in Olean. I do not know where that is.
Right.
Olean.
Isn't that where Mark's cousin was from? Oh my gosh, now what was his name?
I don't know.
Dan. Mark's cousin Dan was from Olean, I think.
I don't even know where Olean.
Way Western New York, yeah.
That's way out there, is it? It's like as far west as you can go, just about.
I'm
Watertown.
assuming that you brought tons of pictures of grandbabies.
Oh my, possibly. And our Wendy's joined us. Hello, Wendy. How are you today?
Our Wendy, hello.
So
all I'm saying is try to be kind, and try to have a regular conversation Talk to people who don't look like you. Talk to people who do look like you but don't think like you, and start out by saying, we used to be able to have conversations.
We used to, yeah.
We used to be able to have logical input and debates.
Political discourse.
And we really need to get back there, because
I don't know, the level of cognitive dissonance is just scary.
I'll talk about that, but first I want to talk about one thing.
One thing.
To lead into it.
One thing.
Okay. A long time ago, I was talking to Margot
Reverend Mother.
about incarnations. And I said, I see some people doing so well. They're working so hard and they're helping so many people. And I think they've really got it. And, this is when I was really young and naive. And I said, so they're like Kuan Yin then, and they're going to get to ascend and not have to come back and do this anymore. And she said, Kuan Yin came back because she had to. And I said, what? And she said, well, you realize that until everyone gets it, none of us get to go anywhere.
Isn't that the whole pretext of Galileo?
And I said, what? And she said, yeah, until we get everybody to get it, even the good ones aren't going to go anywhere. And that really kind of knocked me on my head back then, and I thought about it and I said, good Lord, there's a lot of people that really need some help, and I'm gonna have to keep doing and doing and doing this no matter how hard I work or however it turns out. I'm gonna have to come back for these other folks.
Yeah, that was it. It's a song by the Indigo Girls, isn't it? Galileo. We cover that. We cover that. I wouldn't play it out in forever now,
right.
but that's it. I guess there'll be no nuclear annihilation in my lifetime. We ain't right, kind of thing.
No,
we ain't right. We ain't right.
But it's true. I mean, my own parents were Republican. They were very conservative, and I remember sitting at the dinner table, and my dad always watched the news, and we would have real conversations about what was happening and how he thought things should go. And
I came from a conservative family.
Yeah, and I just want to stress again, this isn't about your party line.
No, it's
right?
Unfortunately, it's hatred and vitriol.
One of the candidates is not anywhere near their party's motto.
They're not qualified to be a human being, honestly.
So, we all have to do our part, or things could get really, really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So cognitive dissonance.
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 Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't ring right. It doesn't ring true. Dissonance.
Dissonance. Yes.
Dissonance. It's like cognitive dissonance is where you have a deeply entrenched belief that makes absolutely no sense, and it makes no sense to you either.
Right.
You can't explain it. You can't logically explain it. There is no reasoning there.
But you've been kind of indoctrinated, so you believe it. And this is kind of going back to the people, I think, who got duped in the beginning.
Well, it's much easier to dupe somebody than it is to get somebody to realise they've been duped. I know that's hard, and because that's
what
almost
do they say?
like
a lie can go around the world before the truth gets its pants on.
Ain't that the truth? It is, and I think the biggest problem that we've got is that there are certain elements of the media that just don't tell the truth. They don't. They push out lies and propaganda, and they've been sued over it and settled for the better part of $1 billion. The one particular network that calls themselves news but isn't. They settled rather than get that into the public because they knew what they were saying was a lie, but they continued to say it anyway.
I just think too, with the astrological things that are going on, AI and all of these things.
Oh, you get deep fakes.
Finding the truth is going to be harder and harder, and spiritual people are going to be called upon for their intuitive understanding of what is the truth.
You know what? I have found that there is an acid test you can apply if you're in any doubt about something. And that is, is it coming from a place of love? Because if it ain't true. You know, that's it. Because that is it. You know,
if it's not coming from a place of love, there's an ulterior motive in there somewhere.
It's fear, it's hatred, it's greed, nastiness, all of this sort of stuff, you know, and we as individuals can make a difference just by being nice to people, just by, it's okay. You know, I will sit down and have reasoned debate with you on anything, and probably things I know nothing about, because I'd love to be educated. You know, I'd love to learn. I love to learn from other people,
from other cultures.
I love their
people
stories.
Who have other mythologies.
Oh
yeah,
man,
absolutely.
I love it. It
Find
enriches my
the
life.
threads, you know. Find the common threads and experience life through someone else's eyes. But help people to understand what is the truth, you know. And don't just go with something you saw once on one news story. Try to work your way to what's really happening, you know. I'll just share one more story because I don't want to be so heavy, but an example of what we're dealing with. It looks like about 17% of the population.
Oh God.
Which is not enough of a number to get someone elected unless everybody else stays home. But 17% of the population still believe that the orange guy is our president.
How?
So I saw this really wild thing. This reporter, this lady's holding up a sign that says 2020 and before. 2024 and before. And he said, oh, what does that mean? And she said, oh, that means that, he'll be president again, but he's still president. He said, oh, so he's going to be president again, but he's still president. Right. Well, then what's going on with our current president? Oh, he's not really the president. Obama is the president, and that's why he talks about Obama all the time. Really? Right. President Obama said that he'd be president again if he could just sit in his basement and pull the strings. So he's really running the country through Biden. So is Biden president, or is Trump president, or is Obama president? Well, President Trump is our president. So then why would you blame Obama and Biden for what's going on if Trump is really the president? Well, because Obama is pulling the strings and telling Biden what to do. But how could Biden do anything if he's not the president, if Trump is still president? And it just went round and round. And you thought...
Yep, not really well reasoned, eh? What are you going to do? Bless them. Anyway, we're here to spread a bit of love and light.
Yes. No, but I'm just saying, so you have to understand that some people are in that space where they've latched onto something because they feel they need that safety net.
I think what got us is over the course of this weekend, when the certain orange guy was on a hustings in Ohio, that he proceeded to say that if he's not elected president, that there will be a bloodbath in this country. And I'm sorry, mate, but that's a no-go, all right? You don't get to incite violence for a second term.
Against we the people.
Against we the people. No. You're the reason January 6th happened, my orange friend, okay? And they're not hostages. They're a violent mob that attacked law enforcement officers.
Well,
let's call it what it is.
On my Facebook today, I posted the penal code that says if you are a defendant out on bail and you prove that you're a threat to the people, that you're waiting for trial, that you should be remanded. So he threatened we the people, and we the people are the people named in that statute, in that penal code. So
Yes. Anyhow. Enough.
So I'm not saying you have to learn the penal codes. I'm just saying talk to people. Be nice to people.
Spread a bit of love.
Spread a bit of love. Talk reason to them. Talk about saving life on this planet. The planet will be fine if we get nuked off, but I'd really rather not leave right now.
No, we've got too much to do. We've got good stuff to do.
So try to educate them. And don't be mean or challenging, but just say, like, well, why do you think that? How is that possible?
How is that possible? Anyway, so Helena says it's like the flat earthers. Yeah, how are you going to explain?
I have seen a shadow on the moon. Okay.
I want to know. Go on. If you're a passionate, I'll take this debate on. I would love to know. How do you think seasons work? Explain that to me.
But that would mean that are all the planets flat or just the Earth?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
So when we look out and we see that round light, we're seeing the disc on the front of it, like the front of a coin.
So the moon, well, obviously, because the moon never changes its phase, does it? We always see the same. So the moon, ergo, must be flat. It's just pasted up there in the sky. That's what it did. I don't know. Oh God. It says if you merely smile and show kindness, suggesting it's possible can help perceptions change without directly trying to force things on people. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. Just the simple act of opening a door for somebody, letting somebody cut you in line.
Can I help you?
All of this stuff this is how you make the world a better place.
Well,
it really
honestly,
is.
because there are so many wounded people who have not really recovered from the pandemic in emotionally or even physically. There are a lot of people who are still dealing with long haulers, but there are some people who have they have PTSD.
Oh God,
they lost people and their lives changed and they lost their businesses and they have not grieved this period of time yet, and things are shaken right under their feet.
It is. Hello, Mama Lena. Thank you for joining us. Mama Lena, she said just the Earth is flat. I've had conversations.
Okay, so all the other planets are round, just the Earth is flat.
Just the Earth is flat. Just the Earth, right. Well, the cats would have knocked everything off if that's the case.
I know, I saw that. It was so funny, right?
Oh God, I love it.
All right.
Terry Pratchett has a flat world, disc world. That's cool. Undiagnosed trauma. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Oh my goddess.
It's traumatic. I mean, you can imagine being in the medical field, and when people were dying by the thousands daily, and just nothing you can do to help anybody. And then we get the orange guy spewing on about how vaccines are no good for people, although he himself was vaccinated.
Well, again, that was a personal choice. So the delivery was wrong. It should, in my opinion, it should have been, we have this vaccine. If you think that it can protect you and you want to take it and you want to remain social or remain being able to go in public places, you take the vaccine. If not, you take some sort of personal responsibility to make sure that you don't put yourself or others at risk. So that was just delivered completely wrong. I mean, nobody would force someone to have a vaccine.
Well, you can't legally treat somebody against their will.
But they should have if they have enough knowledge to know that the vaccine is not for them.
Certain people it wouldn't
then
be.
They would have the knowledge to know they have the personal responsibility of that, and they're not going to go and put others at risk. So we still, again, it comes back to basic kindness and compassion and logic.
And responsibility for your actions.
For responsibility for your actions, logic for knowing what's really happening, and kindness to those around you, regardless of what their choices are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, doesn't it?
This is going to get more and more intense over this next few weeks. Because people are just going to be like, here's the line, that's it, I'm not talking to you. But you can't fix anything without compromise, right? When things are in opposition, the only way to fix that opposition is to create a compromise. Resolution. And in order to have that resolution, that compromise, you have to talk it through.
It's themed all the way through the tarot.
It's themed all the way through life.
It is. Pillars of severity and mercy.
You're responsible for your decisions,
You've got to find middle ground, you know? You've got to find middle ground.
I think it's going to be a very, very intense couple of months.
But, you know, cooperative means cooperating. Doesn't it?
Well,
and speaking of tarot,
that's just it. Let's just figure out ways we can be kind to others, even if they're not on our page, even if they seem to be somewhere off in the weeds.
I wish I knew who'd sent us gifts.
I have no idea.
Well, I'm damn sure Ash did. And I think Sean Otis did as well.
Well, Sean's going to get one either way.
Okay.
Do you want me to put Ash on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're watching us and care to share our live on the Tick of Talk, that would be most helpful because we're trying to be less of a well-kept secret.
All right.
All right, who are we going with?
Soapbox done. Have a wonderful Ostara.
We didn't talk
Enjoy
much
the
about
spring.
Ostara, did we? But it is about balance. It's
Plant
about,
your seeds. Be kind. And take care of yourself and others. All right.
Who we got?
Sean.
Oh, the very first. This is a pretty good card. Look. Page of Pentacles. This is
growing.
Yes, ploughed field there.
I'm just going to check this. Sorry, no emergencies are allowed.
No, please, no more emergencies. I can't cope. Anna Marie, you need to add to the list as well.
I did.
Oh, well done. All right, so this year, the ploughed field shows lots of as yet unrealised, untapped potential. I mean, it may well be that you've already planted your crops and you've just got to wait for them to grow, which is probably the case, but it does show that there's more potential for you to do good stuff. And it involves thinking outside the box a little bit, you know? Maybe there's an interesting side hustle you could get into. Not sure what it is.
Side hustle.
A side hustle, yes. But I don't know. This. I love this card. This card is my quintessential. You know, the Henry Ford quote when everybody said, "Oh, you can't do that." You know, when you're trying to build cars, you can't. Oh, that'll never work. That'll never work. You can't do that. And he said, "For God's sakes, would somebody find me a handful of people with the infinite capacity to not know something can't be done?" And so that's this. This is this person. They don't know it can't be done, so they do it. And it does involve maybe thinking outside the box a little bit. That's my 2 cents there. But it's a good, positive card. Excuse me, my nose is itching like mad.
I think this is about being passionate about the future.
Yeah.
And I do think that sometimes we get bogged down in the now or held back by the past. You know, like the past is kind of trying to hold on to our foot so we can't take a step, you know? But I think that you've got a real plan here. I think that you're really looking to move forward with something and planting really good seeds, and just there's a sense of excitement here and being impassioned about what's growing. And I don't just mean
your pumpkin.
Your pumpkin, yeah, your garden. I mean like your personal awareness and everything. I think there's a positive shift coming, and you're aware of it.
Your turn for
Savannah.
Oh, splendid. Hello, Savannah.
Sorry.
You're still there a bit, aren't you?
Oh, terribly.
I'm sorry.
Sitting is hard. Ooh, Savannah.
Should we lie down?
I really don't think lying down on...
We'll put the camera on this either.
I think that might be viewed negatively. Anyway, Savannah, wands are growth. Already in just 2 cards, I'm kind of seeing this theme that's coming out for this Magical Monday. So there's something going on regarding living arrangements that's going to be very, very positive, that's going to bring you a sense of safety and security and allow you that foundation that you need to grow.
This a great card. Is a really, really good card. This is about oodles of creativity coming out in the 4 here. I see this very much so. And it's a fantastic omen because I know enough feng shui to be
dangerous.
positively dangerous. Don't mistake me as your feng shui master, because I'm not. But I do know that a house on a hill with a river running past is a really, really good omen. And this isn't so much a house as a palace. So expect things to work out well from your birth of a new idea. There's some real good creativity coming, I think, into the fore for you, which is gonna be good. Gonna be good. You're right.
You're up next for Helena.
Hello. All right. Let's see what we got for Helena. How's about this one? Not a sucky card. Not a sucky card. This is a victory card, the Six of Wands. Really, really quite a profoundly strong card, this. So whatever you've been working through, you've got it. It's going to come good.
The answer is coming pretty quickly.
Yep, and it's going to be okay.
Yep, this is the victory card. So, again, I think remembering who you are is important to be able to move forward. And again, that same sort of don't be held down or held back by the past, right? You've also got a plan. And look at the fertile blanket.
Yeah, I was just noticing that. I just noticed that green blanket really standing out there.
I don't know, if you were looking for maybe a new job or an extra job or something, I feel like some really good news is coming for you that'll make you feel like you're getting some personal victories.
Yay.
All right. I'm first for Ash, because Ash was earlier on the Tick of Talk.
Yes.
Ooh.
Not a sucky card either.
I want to say to you that signing a contract prior to April 1st is probably a good idea. And if it can't come to fruition before that, you may want to really, really be careful of details during the Mercury retrograde. However, Mercury retrograde is a great time to take care of old business. So if it's something that's been on the table for quite some time, it is okay to sign a contract during Mercury retrograde. But if it's something new, a new proposition, new proposal, be mindful of that. But I do see some sort of investment or financial growth that's going to serve you well for quite some time.
Yeah, this is definitely... the only thing to watch with this is always try to be, when things start to go well, which I believe they're going to, when they start to really coalesce and get, kind of productive, just remember to be gracious, yeah? In a world where you can be anything, be kind, I think is really important. So even if somebody frustrates the bejeebers out of you, just be gracious.
Yeah.
All right, just be gracious here, because the flip side of this card is that there's that little bit of arrogance and intolerance which is being shown by this boot stuck right on top of this hook here, being squashed a little bit.
The magic's being held down.
So yeah. Just honestly, Ash, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, and I think that will serve you best, because you can't unsay something when you say it. You know what I mean? You can't take it back. So just be mindful of that. But it's gonna come good. I think, all in all, there's a good financial reward here.
You are first for Cass.
Splendid. Well, but R&R is quite useful actually for you, I think. So yeah, just take time to rest. And if you've not been meditating, if you've lost your... What's the word I want to say? If you've got aside from your...
Lost your zen.
There you go. There you go. That's a good word. That's what we... Yeah, just be present and learn to be still and learn to really see things around you, with your inner vision. You can experience more when you experience it sometimes with your eyes shut, if that makes sense. I don't know if I am making any sense. Probably not.
I find this card really interesting. There's so much going on we never notice. Like this stained glass window looks like a father and a son, and then as you follow the bit down, there's a teeny tiny little fox head on the end of this decoration here. And when we see that little fox head, it brings us to the Queen of Wands, who has the same fox head as her brooch.
Well, would you look at that?
And the Queen of Wands is Leo. So you'll notice that this knight is covered in gold, right? And everybody always says to me, oh, that's in a church and he's laying on his casket and he's dead. And I've never, ever have thought that. I've always thought that this person is learning to rest, learning to take time out, and learning to find their cleverness again, right? Because that's what foxes are. Foxes are very clever. Not negative. They're just clever, right? Like if you see a fox in the wild and they have a ton of fleas on them, they'll find a bit of milkweed pod or something that has like cotton wool or sheep wool, and they'll immerse themselves in the water so that all of the bugs float out. They'll hold this in their teeth and they'll immerse themselves in the water, and all of the bugs will come out and get on that piece of cotton or sheep's wool or whatever it is, and then they'll let them float away. So that's thinking it through, figuring out, and being clever. And I think that's where you're at now, taking some time to think it through and manage well.
Cunning is an extremely good knowledge, by the way.
Right, like you used to have wart cunning.
That's, know how to use it. No, you completely grok it.
Right, but nowadays we think of cunning as a negative connotation.
There isn't.
But cunning is like a con, but it's not. It's figuring it out. And I feel like you're in a space of figuring it out.
There you go.
I think a lot of us are in a space of figuring it out.
Oh, so. Well, Ash has rejoined.
Well, Ash, I don't know if you can
miss your reading?
Back. If you missed your reading, you could go onto YouTube and find it, because we did you right before we did Cass.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm up.
It was good reading.
I'm up first for Gilda.
It was a good reading. Because he gave us a gift on the TikTok and gave you a reading, so we'll do that.
Gilda, change and renewal. Wipe the slate clean and start over. I don't know, but I feel like this eclipse, even though it has such an unsettling feel to it, I think the eclipse is going to clear some ground for you. It's going to shift away some of the things you've been waiting to kind of get rid of. And I feel like you're going to have that energy of renewal and meet the light and meet the spring. And I just feel you being a lot more social. Yeah,
I'm going to go with the he is risen from the dead kind of thing. And Leroy and more, vive Leroy, the king is dead, long live the king. However, there's so much going on in this card. If you look closely, you can see a tremendous amount of detail there. But it really is, it's wipe the slate clean and start over with something new. And I think I'm feeling this is in a very positive sense for you, this card, not negative in any way at all. I think one of the things, though, it's hard to do sometimes is if you feel like you're giving up on something, but there is a point where you go, no, I spend any more energy on that particular thing at this moment in time, it's not serving me. So knowing when to let something go and wipe the slate clean, start over is can be hard, especially if you've invested a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, so to speak. You know what I mean? But it's look, good stuff here. See, he said, flashing the card around.
All right, you're first for Susan.
Hello, Susan. Who we got?
Oh,
not a sucky card at all. This is
a lot of pentacles, a lot of
a lot of wealth and growth. Luxury and stuff like that.
being still and recognizing your worth, kind of thing.
This I think the key for you there, it is coming. You've just got to be a little more patient, Susan. It's that snail, that buggery snail. But understand, snails move at a hell of a lick. We don't realise it. You look at a snail, think, how's that going to go anywhere? You turn around for 5 minutes, look at it, it's disappeared. And it ain't a bird that's coming at it. It's just, it went. It's so that I think the key for you is, you've got to make progress, even if it's painfully slow. So long as you keep at it inexorably, so to speak, you will get there. And you will, get the reward you're looking for. You're next.
Yes.
Owie. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Excuse me, I'm actually going to step out and blow my nose because I just had a
it's
sneezing,
so loud.
a sneezing
All right,
fit, and I will
Susan,
deafen you if I do it in here.
I see these two trees, and they're very similar to the two trees that are on the Empress card. And they're very similar energies between the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles. So it's about bringing things to a place of abundance, or beginning to understand what is at your fingertips. So I just feel like it's some sort of observation or understanding that you could do a lot more with what you already have through teaching others or helping others, or maybe even looking to your property to see what you could do to get a little more organized and focused and be able to host people. And I think that this will lead to you kind of moving forward and getting more well known. All right. Okay. I'm first for Anna Marie, and that's the last one.
I am so sorry. I had to desert you for a second.
Goddess, why are you doing this to yourself? Anna Marie, you're all stressed and you're all worried, and maybe you're even more stressed because we talked about people feeling like everything going around them is out of their control. So let's take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. And let's look at all the messages on this blanket. There are all these things you already have in place. There are all these things you've already mastered, and you need to just take stock of that. Being afraid of when the next thing is going to fall on you is only attracting the thing to fall on you. My goodness. So how can you find a restful place? How can you find a way to get rid of some of this stress? Does it really all belong to you? Many times we think something's going to happen and it doesn't, and it works out just fine. So instead of being all stressed, I know it sounds cliche, but try to tell yourself, everything is okay. Everything is going to work out just fine.
It's true, yeah. Worrying is honestly manifestation in reverse, Anna Marie. We start mapping a route to where we don't want to be. You go, oh God, no, this is going to, and then that, and then, and you're actively planning where you don't want to be. So I know it's easy to say, oh, don't worry, be happy. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to give you one little trick, because it's actually, I think, eating into your restful time. So before you go to bed tonight, and I want you to do this for the rest of your life. It's not hard, don't worry. It's not a penance. It's not a you're going to sentence to this forever. I want you to write down on a pad by your bed something you feel good about yourself you did that day. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be the most magnanimous gesture. It could be something like, I made Bob laugh so much he nosed his coffee. I made some kick-ass cookies. Anything, all right? But it's something you feel good about yourself. Write that down. It puts your mind into that before you go off into the land of other. It puts your mind into a healthful place. So then...
Right, because that's what we do. We plant the seed in our subconscious of how horrible everything is and worry about all that. And we have terrible dreams.
Yep.
Instead of thinking,
wake up in a 2 and 8, in fact, you know. And if you do wake up, look at that pad by the side of your bed. It'll put you back into that place. And when you get out of bed in the morning, just as your feet touch the floor, before you do anything else, before you jump in the shower, brush your teeth, whatever, you know, go read that pad again, all right? And lather, rinse, repeat. Do this every single day for the rest of your life, and you will start to change yourself. There's nothing in this world you can change apart from yourself, but when you change yourself, everything changes. And it's amazing what we can do when we think we can do it. That's the key.
And we're going to go back to those 2 words, I am.
I am.
Right?
Yeah.
So you may not feel well enough or focused enough to think that you are loved. Many of us, we think, I'm poor, nobody cares about me, I don't feel well, and we take all of these things and we pack them into ourselves, right? Yep. But maybe just laying down and saying, I am love. Mm-hmm. I am love. And you'll see that you'll fill yourself with that energy of love, you know? So you don't need to be whole and complete by receiving love from someone else. You can be whole and complete by understanding you can fill yourself with love from the energy of the univert. What's just saying here?
She says she loves Magickal Monday. Well, we like doing it too. It appreciates it. Yeah.
So yeah, I sent you a Facebook text just because we're having a little trouble filling up the sound bath class. So we shared it again, and I'm going to see if anybody's going to come. But I know it's not the teacher. I know it's not the price. I know it's not the subject. And I know it's not the venue. So therefore, it might be the day.
Well, we'll see. So shameless plug. We are planning this
to host a sound bath on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But we need a few more peeps to come. But I understand that it's getting close to the holidays and we have Muggle obligations with family. We're just lucky enough to not have Muggle family, so we can do things on.
I think Ash might be interested in the sound bath. We're getting an ooh and lots of exclamation. Well, you know where we are.
It's Sunday at 2, unless we make a date change. So
is this Sunday, Easter Sunday?
No, the following Sunday, Easter Sunday, but it's Palm Sunday.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'm all confused. I don't know what the hell's going on.
No. It's Palm Sunday.
Oh, hang on. And we've got a new channel member, Laura M. How many? Question mark.
How many what?
I don't know, but she's green, so she gets a card.
All right, so I forget who's first. I think you're first.
I don't care. You can go first.
Maybe this is our Laura M that we wrote to before last week that was talking about helping with Celtica. I think maybe that's a Laura M. Although we do know a couple of Laura M's, but anyway.
I have no idea. Ooh, well, we're in the Pisces time, so this is the Fish Boy card. I love this. Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, how many spots? Well, we can have like 20 people. So we need a few more people.
Right. Okay. So, Page of Cups. This is the quintessential Piscean card for me. This really is, old Fish Boy here. He's like super creative. I mean, Pisces are wonderful people. I know this because my mum was a Pisces, bless him. They're inclined to be just a tad dramatic, maybe, just a smidgen.
You don't say.
A smidgen. So yeah. But incredibly creative people. So I think now is a great time to really turn on your creative juices and start creating and really bring it to the fore, kind of thing. And I think you might I sense you're a creative person anyway, but I think you're gonna outdo yourself. I think you're gonna go like, you go, bloody
when you
hell,
turned it over and
I did that. Wow.
When you turned it over and I said, ooh, I thought there's some sort of new idea, like groundbreaking idea, that's going to come to you that you're going to use to really, really I don't know, like make a name for yourself or something. It looks really, really positive. So I see this creative energy, and I think these next couple of weeks is when it's all going to start to just flow during the rest of this Pisces time.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's explain what a sound bath is. Because Elena's saying it could be that people don't really know what a sound bath is. Well, we have all these little tubbies, and basically... No, we don't.
It's immersing yourself like you would in water, but instead you're immersing yourself in the vibration of sound. So it's relaxing and calming and soothing, and it works through the chakras to bring balance and harmony, and it helps you awaken your imagination, and different people hear the different sounds in different ways, and it's just a wonderful experience.
Sound is incredibly therapeutic. I mean, you know, music ties in directly into the emotions. It bypasses everything. You don't have to process it or think about it, you know. And so these resonant frequencies actually act on your body, and not just through your ears. You know, it's like you feel things in the whole skin. You know, your whole innards, your viscera, if you will. You can actually like be surrounded, bathed in this.
Yep, and just said rejuvenating. Yes, it is.
Yes, there you go. Yeah,
right? Vibration is an incredible tool, incredible energy.
And singing bowls are beautiful. Yes,
and voice too. You know, like I really think that we should come full circle, and we should kind of get back to where we said, filling yourself with love, being that spot of light and logic and compassion, and even though you may not really feel inspired right now because things are crazy, stop for a second, take a deep breath, and just say, I am love. I am love. I have no reason to be mad at this person. You know, I'll try to reach him, and if I can't, I just wish them well, right? Just gotta be responsible.
There you go. And thank you everybody who gave us stuff on the talk of tick.
Laura, please, pretty please, call the shop, 845-255-5756. We keep the booking system there, and it's easier if one person is in charge. Whoever answers the phone can put you on the list.
And on the Tick of Talk, Ash, if you can do the same thing, you know the
if
store's
you really
number,
want to come,
845-255-5756. Just give them a call
at 2:00 on Sunday,
and then we'll know where we're at.
Unless, of course, you have to go to church and get your palms.
Palms? Do they do palm readings on Palm Sunday? Wouldn't that be fun?
There's sort of like a stigmata thing about to happen, but I don't think it's the same thing.
Ah, yes, spears in the side. What could that possibly mean?
I am.
Are you going to sing for us?
I am.
Apparently that was cute.
I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am happy. I am love. Have a great week, people. Oh, we didn't do card of the week.
Oh
my goodness.
We can't not. So
yes, chaos, panic, and disorder. No, my work here has just begun. Life is what happens to you while you're making other plans.
No, this is exactly what you're talking about. Some of the
testing.
Yeah, some of the wounds that we give, we wound ourselves most, you know. So be mindful of what you're putting into your heart, especially when you find yourself surrounded by difficult circumstances. Be careful not to internalize. Be careful not to suck up and feed on that putrid vitriol that's floating around everywhere.
Figure out if you're going to react or respond. Do you need to draw a line? Or do you need to soothe? Try to be kind, even in the face of great anger and stress.
So there you go. That's the tip. You know, be that voice of reason. Be that place of love. You know, whatever's going on in here, winds up out there, and whatever's out there winds up in here, you know, as within, so without, kind of thing. So be mindful what you're putting out into the world, and be very mindful what you're bringing into your own, what you're bringing into you, you know, especially, you know, it's easy with what we see going on around us to get sucked into that.
We are fed this stuff that just wants to depress and stress you all the time. I think that card is a perfect card to say, look, is this real? Is this coming from a place of love? We just got dumped off TikTok.
It says it will end. Oh, come on.
Is this real? Is this coming from a place of love? Do I accept this as the truth? Can I look at my intuitive side and see that this may not be real? This may not be coming from a place of love. This may not be the truth. And can I process this in a way that's a little bit healthier for me and the people around me? Yeah? So cook some good food. Meditate with some lovely crystals. Come for a sound bath. Chill out. Even if you only find 20 minutes a day just to look at flowers or something that makes you
smile,
happy, and brings you back to that place of comfort. What?
I just read what he said. They give out palms. Just make sure you get a left and a right.
Yeah, it'll be awkward later.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh dear, how strange.
All right. I am people. I am love. I am worthy. I am happy. I am healthy. Have a wonderful week.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the Tick of Top. Hopefully we'll be here if the stars align and things don't go pear-shaped like they did last week. We'll be back next Monday, and we'll see how it goes. So we do Magickal Mondays. Put it in there. Oh my gosh.
I got a cat scratch.
We got a panther paws for Palm Sunday. Panther paws. Yes. Be what is it? A feline? A feline. What do you call a palm reader? What's the fancy name? Is it
chiromancy?
Chiromancer. Feline chiromancer. You look at the beans.
Read the beans.
Read the beans.
Read the beans. I love my little cat's beans.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very, very much.
That's about all I can deal.
You guys
I'm
are
have
awesome.
To figure out how to move now.
Oh yeah. We'll see you soon. Have a beautiful week. And you know, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. All right. Can you put that out so I don't singe myself when I end these lives?
Oh yes.
Thank you. Have a way. See you guys soon. Bye now.
Bye. All right. And bye-bye to you guys on the tube of you. Thank you for joining us.